All right, guys, welcome back to WrestlingRumors.net. This is Samantha Daley. I am Adam Daley. We just wanted to talk to you guys real quick about Samoa Joe, NXT, independent scene. Where are we going with this, Sam? What do you think?
That's so odd. It kind of reminds me of the Rhino contract, which is such a weird contract because WWE is such sticklers on their talent being exclusively their talent, and then being able to work independent scene. It's just a weird concept to me.
Well, I think it's brilliant because in a way they're treating it's almost like they're treating NXT as its own separate developmental, which it is developmental, but it's almost like its own separate independent scene too that's ran by WWE. You know, so in a way we're starting to see that even though it is still under the WWE umbrella, it's never going to be technically direct competition. I like what they're doing by bringing talent in because, you know, Joe could have went and signed with Global Force Wrestling. He could have went and signed with, you know, whomever. I mean,
he also could have signed with WWE. And don't you think he should have been elevated straight to the main roster? Do you think that he should have gone to NXT?
Yes. If Kevin Owens did, if a guy like Finn Balor, and granted, I mean, you know, Samoa Joe, you could argue is a much bigger name than these guys. You know what I mean? But I think for me, they're saying now that everybody will have to go through NXT. I mean, Rhino's a guy that, for all intents and purposes, if you were looking at you can't put him right back on WWE programming while he's still wrestling independent scene.
Yeah.
If that's in his contract. So, with Samoa Joe, though, I would say, what would the WWE do with him once he got to the main roster? You know what I mean?
I don't know, because, that actually makes me think why they even signed Samoa Joe in the first place.
That's my point, is I think it's a brilliant move for the NXT crowd, because I don't think
it's more of a brilliant move for the NXT crowd, but a brilliant move of gobbling up so that other companies couldn't.
Well, that's part of it. No, absolutely, that's part of it. But I think you look at who watches NXT, the people that watch NXT know Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, not everybody that watches WWE knows who Samoa Joe. You know, and I think it might be a case for all we know, Vincent may never have seen a Samoa Joe match. For all we know, you know. So
I mean, he's never seen a Charlotte match but once. So I mean, it's completely possible that he's never seen Samoa Joe before.
Yeah, true. But that's neither here nor there. I think for me, it brings in a big-name talent that could work against Kevin Owens, a big-name talent that could work against, you know, Itami later on down the line when he comes back. But it doesn't pigeonhole a guy so that you can still work independence, and it really brings up morale a little bit, too. I mean,
I like the idea of that concept of a contract. It's just something they've really never done before other than with Rhino.
Right.
And it's just still wrapping my head around it. It's just so weird to have WWE still allow their guys to go work the independent scene.
Now, do you think Samoa Joe working for NXT, do you think it is a smart move on WWE's behalf, or do you think it's kind of like, the ship has sailed kind of deal?
It's a smart move on their behalf, especially with Global Force Wrestling now coming up and gobbling up guys off the independent circuit.
Well, not only that, I think if you look at it, you know, I mean, with the Brian Kendrick coming back in, I mean, this gives Joe a way to not only contribute from a performance standpoint, but behind the scenes too. Yeah. So, and I think, and again, it does play, I think, a lot with that NXT crowd. You know, it's a more independent scene type of crowd. It's a more indie crowd. It's a smaller, more intimate type of feel. It's more of a smart crowd typically, you know, so I think what we're working off of basically is that Samoa Joe's star power, you know, in NXT could do wonders for NXT. I mean, it's already a great thing. I guess it would do more wonders for Samoa Joe at this stage in his career. But it could give, you know, Samoa Joe that rejuvenated feeling almost, that, you know, because Joe's a hell of a worker. He's a fantastic worker. And I think that when you put a dream match between him and Owens, for me, right there instantly sells. That sells the network, you know. And if it was for nothing more to put him in NXT and help out, develop, you know, younger guys, make NXT seem more established with a bigger name, so that you can. Then it's well worth it. Then it's well worth it, because if you're about to lose a Sami Zayn, or you're, you know, later in a year or next year, if you're about to lose a Finn Balor or whatever the case may be, this is a nice way bringing in, you know, Brian Kendrick, who's training now, but bringing in Rhino to feud against guys like Baron Corbin, you know, where you're going to have slugfest with them too. I think it is. I think it's very smart.
Definitely.
All right, guys, so we just wanted to talk real quick about Samoa Joe. Please leave your thoughts, leave your comments below. Like our video, share our video. Please subscribe to this very channel. Make sure you're checking out WrestlingRumors.net. And, guys, please leave your comments. Let us know. Give us your feedback. Is Joe good at NXT? Is he going to end up in the main roster, or is this kind of an all-for-naught little short moment in time that we'll look back and say, yeah, Joe was there for a minute? Guys, leave the comments below, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.